Most students think smart people learn faster because they were born with better brains. When someone gets better grades, learns a skill quickly, or understands things faster than everyone else, most people assume it's intelligence. But what if that's wrong? What if the fastest learners aren't actually the smartest? Imagine two students preparing for the same exam. They use the same textbook, they attend the same classes, they have the same amount of time. One studies for hours every day, the other studies less. Yet somehow the second student remembers more and performs better. At first it looks like talent, but the truth is different. The best students don't necessarily learn more, they learn differently. The first difference is how they handle information. Most students collect facts. Smart students build connections. Think about your brain like a map. Every new idea is a location. If nothing is connected, finding your way becomes difficult. But when roads connect everything, navigation becomes easy. Learning works the same way. The more connections you create, the easier information becomes to remember. That's why smart students rarely ask, "What do I need to memorize?" Instead, they ask, "What does this connect to?" A new concept becomes easier to remember when it's attached to something you already understand. That's the first secret. Connection beats memorization, but that's only part of the story. The second secret is active recall. Most students study by looking at information, reading notes, watching videos, highlighting textbooks. It feels productive. But feeling productive isn't the same as learning. The real test isn't whether information looks familiar. The real test is whether you can remember it without looking. That's where active recall comes in. Instead of rereading information, you try to retrieve it. You close the book. You ask yourself questions. You explain concepts from memory. At first it's difficult. You forget things. You struggle. You make mistakes. Most students think this means they're failing. Actually, it means their brain is working. Every successful recall strengthens memory. Think about walking through a forest. The first trip is difficult. The path is barely visible. But every time you walk the same route, the trail becomes clearer. Memory works exactly the same way. The more often you retrieve information, the stronger the pathway becomes. That's why top students spend less time consuming information and more time testing themselves. But even strong memories fade, and that's where the third secret appears: spaced repetition. Most students review information after they've forgotten it. Then they have to relearn everything. Smart students review information before it disappears. Imagine keeping a campfire alive. You don't wait for the fire to go out. You add small pieces of wood regularly. The fire stays strong. Memory works the same way. Small reviews at the right time keep knowledge alive, and they require far less effort than starting over. This is one reason smart students appear to learn faster. They're not constantly rebuilding, they're expanding. Each review strengthens what already exists, and over time, those small advantages become huge. But there's one final secret: consistency. Most students rely on motivation. The problem is motivation comes and goes. Some days you'll feel focused. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel distracted. That's normal. Smart students don't depend on motivation. They depend on systems. A system works whether you feel motivated or not. A system works on good days and bad days. That's why successful students create routines, because routines remove decision-making. You don't wake up wondering if you should study, you simply follow the plan. And over time, those small actions become habits. That's where real progress happens. Not in one perfect study session, not in one all-night cram session, but through consistent effort repeated over time. So why do smart students learn faster? Not because they're born different, not because they have special brains, not because they know secret tricks. They connect information, they use active recall, they apply spaced repetition, and they stay consistent. Those four habits create a massive advantage. The good news is that none of them require talent. Anyone can learn them. Anyone can use them, and anyone can improve. So stop asking whether you're smart enough. Start asking whether you're learning the right way. Because the students who learn the fastest aren't always the smartest. They're simply using better methods. And you can start using those methods today. The choice is yours. Start learning smarter.